Today we're diving into what might just be the internet's messiest and most chaotic love triangle. And trust us when we say you're gonna be glued to your screens for this one. Now, if you're even remotely familiar with the hip-hop scene, chances are you've heard of this guy who recently shot into the spotlight thanks to his hit single, Tweaker. But honestly, that part isn't even the most important detail here. What's important is the fact that he's currently locked in a full-blown feud with both of his baby mothers, and the internet has been eating it up. First, there was reality TV star Miss Nikki Baby. He was in a long-term relationship with her, had 2 children, and then quite literally dipped when she was only a few weeks postpartum after giving birth to their second child. That decision alone sparked front-page rumors, viral speculation, and a series of heated stories from Nikki Baby. He's even gone on record saying he doesn't care what people think about him, which is a bold stance considering he's created 2 lives in a matter of months and seemingly walked away from both baby mothers.
This shit live, that shit live case right now. When people conversate about my personal life, it don't touch me or bother me too much.
He said he doesn't care what people say about him.
It don't rub me the wrong way or nothing, because nobody really go what I go through every day. So you not me for real. So it's like, it don't mean shit for real. I don't even know half the people saying anything.
So today we're going to dive head first into this drama. We'll break down what went wrong between all 3 of them, what the internet is saying, and why this situation is far from over. Let's get into it. So before we get into all the juicier details, let's first introduce all the main characters, starting with LiAngelo Ball, better known as Gelo. Gelo is a professional basketball player, a rapper, and a TV personality. Most of you probably already know that he comes from one of the most recognizable families in modern basketball. His older and younger brothers, Lonzo and LaMelo Ball, are legitimate NBA talents. And in comparison, their careers followed far more traditional and successful paths. Lonzo, for instance, went from Chino Hills to UCLA before being drafted 2nd overall in the NBA. His journey was high pressure from the start, but it was also fairly structured. Despite injuries and constant scrutiny, Lonzo built a reputation as a reliable NBA player and largely met the expectations placed on him. LaMelo, the youngest, took things even further. He emerged as the breakout star of the family and completely shifted how people viewed the Ball name. What was once dismissed as a media circus suddenly carried real basketball credibility. With accolades like Rookie of the Year and All-Star recognition, LaMelo proved that the hype wasn't just talk, it was backed by undeniable talent. LiAngelo's story, however, unfolded very differently. While Gelo showed promise and was clearly talented, his career has always been overshadowed by controversies, scandals, and messy situations from the very beginning. Because of that, opportunities never really stuck with him the way they did for his brothers. He was often seen as capable but inconsistent, talented but uncertain. Gelo always occupied an awkward middle space. He was known as a solid shooter, but he never displayed the same all-around NBA upside that Lonzo and LaMelo did. That difference alone made his path more fragile even before things went off the rails. And then came the scandal that would permanently alter his trajectory. In 2017, while on a trip to China with UCLA, LiAngelo was arrested for shoplifting designer items, reportedly sunglasses and other merchandise, from a Louis Vuitton store. Along with 2 other players, he attempted to walk out with thousands of dollars worth of goods, seemingly without thinking about the consequences.
Now, 3 UCLA men's basketball players, including LiAngelo Ball, I'm sorry for crucifying your name, the younger brother of Los Angeles Lakers rookie Lonzo Ball, remain in China, allegedly for shoplifting. ESPN reports Ball and his 2 teammates, Jalen Hill and Cody Riley, stole items from 3 upscale stores near the team's hotel in Hangzhou, and there's apparently surveillance video of the theft. Ball's father, LeVar, traveled with the team to China and has remained there with his son. The players must stay in their hotel until the legal situation.
The situation escalated quickly. At the time, Donald Trump was president, and his administration had to request assistance from Chinese authorities to help resolve the incident. It was chaotic, embarrassing, and played out on a global stage. To make matters worse, the Ball family was filming their reality TV show, Ball and the Family, and the entire ordeal became a storyline. Gelo's family was forced to answer questions on his behalf, both to the media and the public, absorbing the fallout of his decisions.
Yeah. Need your help. Gelo. He's being detained for stealing some Louis Vuitton glasses. What?
I don't know exactly what happened, but what's going on?
We have a situation. My boy's been detained. You can go from here to here real quick.
After that scandal, it's safe to say that nothing in LiAngelo's basketball career truly stuck. What followed was a string of near misses, short-term opportunities, and unrealized potential. In a more recent interview, LiAngelo himself admitted that he was being dumb at the time and didn't fully understand what he was doing. But by then, the damage was already done.
Are you scared that you were gonna get stuck over there? No, I wasn't. I couldn't think nothing past like I knew gonna go south. I don't know. Right when I left the store, I'm like, I told them like, yo, we done. You know, better walk back, bro. But I don't know. It's like
Should have pleaded insane. I told him I would have started having a panic.
I don't know.
Oh my God!
I knew that shit was wrong, bro. Yeah, but I don't know. I gotta move on.
Were you scared what your dad was gonna say?
Nah, I couldn't get scared because I heard. Oh my bad. I heard 10 years though. Like they 3 to 10 years if you go over a certain amount. And we had over K's and stuff, bro, bags, glasses. But I didn't have everything. Don't put it all on me, please.
We know he was 18 years old at the time, and sure, teenagers are bound to make dumb decisions. But let's be clear, he was 18, not 8. He was a professional basketball player representing a major program, and somehow thought it would be cool to shoplift designer items. That alone tells you a lot about how this guy processes consequences. And as we move further into this story, you'll start to notice something unsettling. The mindset behind those decisions doesn't seem to have evolved much, except now he isn't just playing with his own career anymore, he's playing with other people's lives. Fast forward to January 2025, when Gelo decided to completely change his career path. Basketball clearly wasn't panning out the way it had for his brothers, and instead of grinding it out, he pivoted to music. Almost overnight, he signed a reported $13 million deal with Def Jam and Universal Music Group. And just like that, he dropped his debut single, Tweaker. And boom, suddenly LiAngelo Ball was back in the spotlight. There's no denying it, that song revived his public relevance. It gave him something basketball never quite did, momentum. Gelo has since said that he may not even return to basketball now that he's found success in music. On paper, it looks like a comeback story. But here's the part you need to pay attention to. Almost all of the major controversies, relationship problems, and public messiness in his personal life started surfacing around the same time he signed that Def Jam deal and released Tweaker. The timing is impossible to ignore. It's hard not to wonder if this sudden success went straight to his head. Whether it made him feel untouchable, invincible, or above accountability, something clearly shifted. The amount of drama Gelo had stirred online in the past year alone is unreal, and many people believe it all traces back to his rapid rise in the music industry. And honestly, the pattern is starting to look very familiar. Speaking of Miss Nikki Baby and Rashida Nicole, it's important to note that both of them are socialites in their own right. Miss Nikki Baby's real name is Nikki Mudarris, and she's best known for her long-running presence on the reality TV series Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Over the years, she has built a recognizable public image beyond reality television, working as a model and launching multiple business ventures. Nikki is also a major influencer, with over 3.5 million followers across social media platforms. While Gelo is often considered the more famous name in this relationship, it would be unfair to downplay Nikki's own status. She has an established online presence, a career independent of him, and solid financial standing. In other words, Nikki wasn't just someone's girlfriend. She had her own lane, her own income, and her own audience long before this situation ever became public. Now let's talk about Nikki and Gelo's years-long relationship, because this is really where our story begins. It's not entirely clear when the two officially started dating, but based on their own statements, they were together for nearly 3.5 years before splitting sometime in February 2025. By internet relationship standards, that's a long time, especially for a couple that lived so much of their lives in the public eye and under constant scrutiny. In multiple interviews, both Nikki and Gelo shared the same origin story. They met while walking their dogs during a hike, exchanged numbers, and quickly hit it off. According to Nikki, the connection felt natural almost immediately. In a later interview with Jason Lee, she went into more detail about her first impressions of Gelo. She said she initially saw him as a genuinely nice guy, someone who aligned with her life goals, didn't drink, and appeared stable and grounded. At the time, Gelo seemed like everything she was looking for. Nikki explained that she truly believed he was the right person to build a future with and eventually start a family alongside.
So I know that what I heard you guys met on a hike, or that was your first date was a hike.
That was where we met.
You met on a hike.
Yeah.
So I've went hiking many times. I haven't met anybody on a hike. I've tried to hang out by the, the place on Runyon Canyon where the locks are on the fence. I've actually brought locks to put it up there, taking my time. Ain't nobody walked by me on a hike.
Do you want to borrow my dog? Maybe you'll have.
No, I don't like
to
to
come
hike.
out. Like I don't even hike or none of that for real. I just came out there. I had my dog with me. I'm like, oh, look at this. So I just took him over there. I was just gonna let him get a little air for real because we've been driving for a minute. So I don't know. That happened weird like that.
So you go to take your dog for a walk on the hiking trail, and you run into Nikki on a hiking moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what makes you guys talk while you're hiking? Because I'm not the type of person that even wants to really talk while I'm working out because I look crazy.
Well, I look cute, and my dogs were, my two Pomeranians were like trying to attack his two big dogs. So I was like, oh, like, here we go. And then we just started talking, exchanged numbers.
Okay, so we're going to get to the journey of talking and exchanging numbers to baby, because that's a journey. So how long ago did you guys meet?
Like about like a year and a half.
And so how did you know did you know when you guys first met, either one of you, that this was going to be more than just meeting on hiking?
Initially, I didn't think, like, I didn't know. I was like, okay, like, he probably just thinks I'm pretty. Like, he might not try to, like, we're 8 years apart. So I was like, okay, he might just want to have fun. Like, I'm, like, trying to settle down. I just got my real estate license. So I'm kind of, like, focused on my real estate. And I wasn't trying to just play around and stuff. And then we ended up dating, and then we kind of both were on the same page with everything.
What about you? What did you think when you met Nikki Baby? Did you know who she was?
Nah, for real. I was just.
You didn't even know. So you don't watch Love and Hip Hop. You're not really active on social media.
I'm not really into all that social media. Like I'm not on that life for real. I really just hoop. I'll be at the crib. I'm like you. I like staying at the house, man.
And according to Nikki, everything that followed was intentional. She made it clear that their major life decisions, including the choice to have children together, were carefully planned and discussed, not accidental, impulsive, or rushed. From her perspective, they were building a life step by step, with shared goals and mutual understanding about where the relationship was headed. Once the relationship went public, they began appearing together at events, in interviews, and across social media, consistently presenting themselves as a happy, stable, and united couple. And for a long time, that image wasn't just for show. By all outward appearances, they really were just that. There were no major scandals, no public blow-ups, and no obvious signs of tension. At least not until last year, when everything seemed to unravel at once. In 2023, the couple even appeared together in a BET network segment that was filmed while Nikki was pregnant with their first child. In that appearance, they looked genuinely in love, comfortable, affectionate, and visibly excited about becoming parents together.
I know that just off of seeing
What if it was you?
I'm with you every day, so you don't always gotta hear
I know,
me.
but I have to call her. I need someone to talk to.
I know these things. That's why I said your mom. How tall am I?
6'6".
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Sometimes you add a little
They
half
tried to
depending
cut
on
me
your
in.
shoe.
That's cool. Shoes on.
Okay.
6'6".
6'6".
I don't walk around with my shoes on.
What business do I want to open?
A beauty supply store.
No.
Oh, you do be talking about that. Oh, you want a McDonald's?
Yes.
Yeah. I had to recover that. I thought you meant under your like.
I'm gonna get all the free Happy Meals, okay?
You gotta know this one, okay? What's my favorite color?
Green.
Yeah, everything's green.
Green, what? That's the simple
You
question.
can't even elaborate.
Their first baby was born later that year, and Nikki frequently shared moments on Instagram and other platforms highlighting how supportive Gelo was throughout her pregnancy and the birth. She spoke openly about how present he was during that time, how involved he seemed at every step, and how seriously he appeared to be taking his role as a father. To her followers, it looked like she had a reliable partner by her side during one of the most important moments of her life. Even after the birth of their son, LiAngelo Anthony Ball, Gelo continued to appear regularly in Nikki's posts. He was shown participating in sweet everyday moments that reinforced the image of a hands-on, engaged dad. From the outside looking in, there was little reason for anyone to suspect that things were about to take a drastic turn or that everything was about to change.
Rose in the berry. You know how we rock out, but we sauce some baby age. Fresh out the way. Fresh now, V. You fresh now?
No.
No. Yeah, you is.
Daddy.
No, you doing that? Here.
Daddy. No.
With Indeed, you can avoid awkward
Dirty boy.
conversations from the start. Is it competitive? It's just
Daddy.
It's hard to imagine now, but at that point, few could have predicted how drastically things would change. Everything took a sharp and painful turn in 2024 when Nikki became pregnant with their second child. During her interview with Jason Lee, Nikki revealed something that had not been public knowledge before. Prior to the birth of her daughter Lanaya, she had suffered a miscarriage. This revelation added a profound layer to her story, showing just how emotionally taxing her journey had been. It also shed light on the struggles she endured during her postpartum period, giving audiences a deeper understanding of what she went through behind the scenes. That admission led many to empathize even more with Nikki. Viewers praised her for her strength, resilience, and composure, especially given the intensity of navigating such a personal experience in the public eye. What's particularly important to note is that even at the start of this second pregnancy, things between Nikki and Gelo seemed stable. They were supportive of each other and maintained a positive front, celebrating the news of their daughter's upcoming arrival in a wholesome, uplifting way that suggested their family bond remained strong, at least on the surface. But toward the end of her second pregnancy, Nikki said she started noticing clear tension inside their home. According to her, arguments between her and Gelo became more frequent, especially about long-term plans, where they would live once the kids got older and what schools the children would eventually attend. These weren't small disagreements anymore. They were conversations that revealed deeper disconnects. Around the same time, Nikki also began noticing changes in Gelo's behavior. She described him as becoming noticeably distant. He would suddenly pick up his phone and step outside to talk, often without explanation. At first, she didn't think much of it. His song Tweaker had just come out, he had signed a major deal, and his career was picking up rapidly. From her perspective, it made sense that he might be busy, overwhelmed, or constantly in touch with record labels and industry people. Although the thought crossed her mind that something shady might be going on, Nikki admitted she couldn't focus on it fully. She had just given birth. She was caring for a newborn daughter and a young son, and her entire world revolved around postpartum recovery and motherhood. She said she was naturally occupied during this period and simply didn't have the emotional or mental capacity to closely monitor what Gelo was doing behind the scenes. What hurt her the most, though, was how emotionally absent he had become. Nikki said that during this time, Gelo wasn't just physically distant, he was emotionally checked out from her and from their children. According to Nikki, everything truly began to fall apart when Gelo left for a work trip. Even before he left, she admitted that something didn't feel right. They weren't on the best of terms, and she had an uneasy feeling that he might cheat while he was away. Unfortunately, those fears didn't take long to feel validated. While Gelo was on the trip, Nikki said he completely ghosted her. He didn't call, he didn't check in, he didn't ask about their newborn daughter. Days went by with little to no communication, which only heightened her anxiety. Then, out of nowhere, he sent her a text saying that he needed to talk to her when he got back, and that he had bad news. In that moment, Nikki said she already knew what it was about. She confronted him directly and asked if he had gotten someone else pregnant. According to her, his response was a yes.
And I'm like, just say it. I was like, what, you got someone pregnant? And he said, yeah, we need to co-parent. I got someone pregnant. Just like that. And I was like.
On a text?
On a text. And my baby is only 4 weeks old at the time. So I was like, what? Like, I just went into like.
Did you believe it, or did you think he was playing with you, or?
I didn't think he was playing.
You knew he was
Why
serious.
would he say that? Yeah, and he was acting weird. I told you he was going outside, talking on the phone. He didn't seem like himself towards the last couple weeks. I felt like he had like something on his mind, but he didn't know how to tell me. So he told me on a text.
Imagine being only a few weeks postpartum and having your partner admit that he may have gotten another woman pregnant. The emotional weight of that moment is hard to even put into words. Nikki said she was completely shattered. Whether the pregnancy was confirmed or not, it almost didn't matter. She knew at that point that the relationship was over. When Gelo returned from the trip, there was no real conversation, no explanation, no attempt at closure. Nikki said he showed up with his friends, collected his belongings, and left. He didn't sit down with her. He didn't look her in the eyes. He didn't even speak to her before walking out. He simply dipped, choosing to stay with his new girlfriend. And that new girlfriend, of course, was Rashida Nicole. By February 2025, rumors were already circulating online about Gelo dating Rashida. Shortly after, Nikki took to Instagram to address the situation directly and share her side of the story with the public. In a raw and emotional post, she wrote, "I see everyone sending me the Gelo cheating on me. I want to clear this up and speak my truth. I am just as surprised as you are. We spent 3.5 years together, and last week, he decided to walk out on his kids and me and tell me that he got someone else pregnant, allegedly, and is now creating a new life with her. We were just happy and planning family photos. I am beyond blindsided by this whole thing. The ultimate betrayal is not even the word. My daughter is not even 2 months old, and dealing with this in postpartum is very hard. Please pray for me and my healing because I will get through this. I have to be strong for my kids, but I have absolutely no words. Karma is real and God don't like ugly. I think it was worth losing his family." That post sent shockwaves across the internet and marked the moment this private heartbreak turned into a very public reckoning. At the time, a lot of people immediately felt sorry for Nikki, especially because Gelo had already started posting with Rashida. He was being spotted with her, appearing publicly, and basically signaling to the world that he had moved on very quickly. That said, there was also a section of people who believed there had to be another side to the story. Some argued that because Nikki was 8 years older than Gelo, she must have been controlling or overbearing, and that this was the real reason he dipped. That narrative floated around for a while, giving Gelo the benefit of the doubt. But it didn't take long for that theory to fall apart. As more details came out, it became increasingly clear to the public that Gelo and Rashida were the ones responsible for breaking up a home, not Nikki, who was already navigating postpartum recovery and caring for 2 young children. Just days after Nikki went online and accused Gelo of infidelity and emotional abandonment, both Gelo and Rashida began shading her publicly on social media. And honestly, it was bad. Really bad. As for Rashida, the audacity was unreal. This was someone who got involved with a committed man, a father of 2, and then felt comfortable enough to throw shade at his baby mother while she was still postpartum. To be clear, Gelo is absolutely more at fault here. He was the one who was committed, built a family, and walked away. But for Rashida to even engage with Nikki at that moment, let alone mock or shade her, was honestly borderline diabolical, and the internet noticed. Rashida responded almost immediately after Nikki accused Gelo of getting her pregnant, and her response was a choice. She posted a story claiming that Nikki was not a present mother, saying she was never with her kids. She went even further by accusing Nikki and her family of being racist, alleged that they frequently used the N-word. According to Rashida, Nikki was also obsessed with her and needed to move on.
People playing victim on the internet. One, people move on, things change. Yes, it may not be updated or addressed to the internet because it's not for y'all. People have private lives. We have real lives out here. You don't know what's going on.
Rashida, please.
So everybody coming for me and trying to slut shame me and woman shame me, and I'm so sick of that narrative. Like, y'all so quick to blame the woman. Y'all don't know what's going on. People love to play victim for the internet. Half the time, that lady don't even have her kids. Let's be clear. There is no abandonment over here. Number 2.
Come on, number 2, come on.
The lady and her family are racist. I don't care what anybody says. She always got the N-word in her mouth. You are not black at all.
Rashida.
No, surprise. Stop posting about me. Stop trying to throw shade. Like, just leave me alone.
Pull the lever.
The post did not age well for Rashida at all, because fast forward to now, Rashida is now sitting in the exact same position Nikki was in. She's the one unable to move forward, stuck dealing with postpartum emotions, public scrutiny, and a man who seemingly is dipped. The irony is almost painful, especially considering how dismissive her advice to Nikki was at the time. After Rashida went public with those accusations, Nikki didn't stay quiet. She fired back with a series of Instagram stories of her own. In one of them, she wrote, "I am not with my kids. The only person who is not with them is their daddy. Bitch, you wanted attention, you got it. You can keep him." In another story, she addressed Rashida's pregnancy claim directly, saying, "For your information, he told me on a text that she is pregnant. Coward, pathetic shit." Nikki then made it very clear where her issue actually lay. In another post, she emphasized that her problem was with her baby daddy, not any third party, and that she wasn't interested in going back and forth with side people. But instead of letting things cool down, the situation somehow got even messier and borderline unhinged. Shortly after all this, both Gelo and Rashida began posting pictures together, hand-in-hand photos, restaurant dates, cozy selfies. All of it felt extremely intentional, and to many people watching, it came across as blatant shading toward Nikki. The timing alone made it hard to believe otherwise. Amid all of this, Nikki also accused LiAngelo of being irresponsible toward their children. In one Instagram story, she claimed that he had not seen his kids in 6 weeks, which only intensified the public backlash against him. Gelo, however, didn't let that accusation slide. In an interview, he pushed back, saying, "I watched the kids more than her and am a grown man with my own. I don't have to call her to conversate with my babies who can only say dada." That statement alone rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But he didn't stop there. In this same interview, Gelo also tried to justify why he left Nikki in the first place. According to him, she was constantly telling him how much attention she got from older men, and he claimed that this made him uncomfortable. So he decided to free her. In response to the comments about not needing to call Nikki to talk to the kids, she posted yet another story saying, "Raise them kids and be a father. Just because you hate me don't mean you gotta be absent in their life, weirdo." In another post, Nikki addressed something else that struck a nerve with the public. She claimed that while Gelo was busy gifting Rashida luxury items, including a Mercedes, he was allegedly failing to provide financially for his children. She wrote, "I wear this on my wrist. You doing all this and you still have not sent your kids no money, that's all." Later on, Gelo spoke again about how much it bothered him to be labeled a deadbeat dad. He insisted that while he was with Nikki, he took care of most responsibilities and accused her of playing into sympathy narratives. He even told her to stop what he called the sympathy.
Now, nothing on social media like bothers you at this point.
Hell no, bro. Especially since me, from like a kid, bro, I done heard it all, broad spectrum too. So it's like, I know with the net, like you gonna say what you want to say at the end of the day.
What was it?
With me every day, so I can't fall into that, you know.
What was the craziest shit you done seen or heard motherfucker say?
Shit. Craziest shit that I don't like. The most shit I don't like is when niggas I'm like a deadbeat pops or something, because I be with my young every day for real. I've raised them up. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of shit be misleading sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, other things too. You know, everybody say something, but I don't get too worked up for it. I don't be mad over the net.
Okay.
I really don't go on my shit.
That's respect.
I just do a performance and put my phone down and hang out with the gang, see what's happening.
At the same time, perhaps sensing the growing backlash, Gelo posted a few photos of his newborn daughter and son on social media, assuring followers that he would never abandon his kids. On the surface, it looks like an attempt to quiet the criticism and control the narrative, but people were quick to point out how performative it felt. To many, those posts came off less like genuine reassurance and more like damage control, especially when paired with reports that he hadn't been consistently present in his children's lives. The internet isn't easily fooled, and for a lot of viewers, a few carefully timed photos don't erase months of absence or replace real, ongoing responsibility.
Hey girl, I love your earrings. Look how cute you look. I'll call you later on tonight and I'll talk to him, okay?
While all of this chaos was unfolding, it's important to remember that Gelo was still very much dating Rashida Nicole. But in what felt like a matter of weeks, their relationship escalated at a speed that can only be described as rocket fast. One minute they were exposed as having an affair, and the next thing you know, They were married. Gelo's breakup with Nikki reportedly happened sometime in February 2025, and according to TMZ, by March 2025, he and Rashida were already husband and wife. While neither of them publicly confirmed the exact date of the marriage, TMZ uncovered court documents showing that the marriage took place on March 24th. They were later spotted together at a California courthouse on June 24th, wearing white outfits and walking hand in hand. That appearance pretty much confirmed what many people had already suspected. They had a quiet court marriage and intentionally kept it under wraps for a while. But if this entire saga has taught us anything, it's that privacy never lasts long with these people. Drama always seems to be lurking in the background, just waiting for the right moment to blow everything wide open. And that's exactly what happened next. Sometime in July 2025, Gelo officially filed for divorce from Rashida, and TMZ broke the news in bold, unmistakable headlines. What made this situation even more shocking wasn't just the divorce itself, it was the timing. The marriage lasted less than 90 days, and honestly, at that point, no one could say they didn't see it coming. Considering how fast this relationship moved, paired with the way Gelo abruptly abandoned his previous family, it became painfully clear that he wasn't in the mental or emotional space to be anyone's husband, and that reality caught up to him almost immediately. But here's where things get even more outrageous. Just 1 week before Gelo filed for divorce, Rashida announced her pregnancy on Instagram. She posted a series of photos and shared a deeply emotional caption that read, "Wish I had all the right words to describe this journey, but I guess if I had to define it, all I can say truly is I'm grateful, terrified, anxious, nauseous, hangry, all of the above. As a teen mom, I was always hesitant about going through pregnancy and parenthood again. If you know, you know. I want to thank my daughter for being here for me during this process, always demonstrating unconditional love and reassuring me that everything is all right. And for now, I choose to protect my peace in this beautiful energy." What made this even stranger was the fact that Gelo commented under that very post, leaving heart emojis along with a lock and key emoji, presenting the image of a united, solid couple on the verge of building a happy family together. And yet none of that actually happened. While Rashida may not have seen the divorce coming, the internet somehow did. Once the news broke, people immediately started connecting dots and tracing the cracks in their relationship back to earlier moments, specifically the 2025 BET Awards. That appearance happened just weeks before Rashida announced her pregnancy, and in hindsight, the tension between them is painfully obvious. During red carpet interviews, an interviewer asked Gelo and Rashida to kiss for the cameras. Instead of leaning in or playing along, Gelo awkwardly stepped away, leaving Rashida standing there alone as the moment fizzled out. The energy was off, very off. So yeah, that happened. At that point, Gelo didn't even try to pretend anymore, and the audience picked up on it immediately. People clocked the energy right away. The comment sections were flooded with remarks like, "The honeymoon phase is over already," and "He's treating Rashida the exact same way he treated Nikki." The pattern was becoming impossible to ignore. Rashida, however, noticed the chatter too and decided to address it. She commented under the Shade Room's post, saying it was unfair of them to clip just one awkward moment from the interview and turn it into some huge, embarrassing spectacle. According to her, they had spoken at length during that interview, laughed and interacted normally, but none of that made it into the clip. She also explained that the kiss never happened because someone randomly asked them to kiss on the red carpet, and Gelo simply felt uncomfortable doing that in front of the cameras. She framed it as an overblown situation, something that was taken out of context and exaggerated for clicks. But for a lot of people, that explanation sounded more like damage control than the truth. And honestly, what unfolded over the next few weeks pretty much confirmed that suspicion. The reality of their relationship didn't stay hidden for long. It played out very publicly and very loudly. Around the time Rashida announced her pregnancy, she became the target of intense online backlash. While most people were furious with LiAngelo for abandoning his family, many were also confused and frustrated by Rashida's choices. People questioned why a beautiful, financially independent woman would knowingly involve herself with a man who had just walked out on his partner and 2 very young children. The logic just wasn't adding up for the public. He had already shown that he was capable of leaving a family behind without hesitation. He'd already cheated once, so what made her think she would be treated any differently? That was the question dominating the comment sections. The criticism intensified when people noticed that Gelo was nowhere to be seen in her maternity shoot, and she appeared to be doing the pregnancy announcement completely on her own. Meanwhile, Nikki remained noticeably quiet. Aside from posting a heartfelt note along with a few photos on her birthday, she stayed away from the drama online. No vague captions, no shady posts, no back and forth, nothing. That silence lasted until her interview with Jason Lee, where she finally decided to speak openly and lay everything out. In that interview, Nikki revealed that she and Gelo were still navigating a co-parenting situation, and that he does come around to see the kids. When Jason Lee asked whether she would ever consider getting back with Gelo if he went to therapy, her answer was firm and immediate. Absolutely not. According to her, the moment he got another woman pregnant, that door closed permanently. She also shared something that raised eyebrows. She claimed that Gelo's attitude toward her had shifted after a split from Rashida Nicole. Nikki said it seemed like he had finally started to recognize where he went wrong, and that he now apologizes to her whenever he gets the chance. Those comments did not sit well with Rashida. Shortly after the interview aired, Rashida took to Instagram and unleashed a furious response, calling out Nikki directly. She accused Nikki of harassment, claiming that she had been obsessively inserting herself into her life, and made some extremely serious allegations. Rashida wrote, "I was really trying to chill because I am pregnant, but I am so tired of this bish keep talking about me. So let's talk about it. It is giving obsessed. You were so focused on blaming me for all problems. He decided to leave. I do not mention you, nor do I care. This lady has harassed me the entire time behind the scenes, trying to have people call me to abort my baby, wishing death on my unborn child, and so much more. I am done. Just a PSA. My due date is in December, so again, y'all do the math. Thank you for all the free promo, though, while I am baking this beautiful baby." What we want to point out here is that Nikki, both in her interview and in this post, never outright said that Rashida was pregnant while Gia was still with her. She consistently framed it as something Gelo told her. Even later, when she addressed it again in her post, she deliberately used the word allegedly, clearly signaling that she was not presenting it as a confirmed fact, but rather repeating what she had been told, without claiming firsthand knowledge or proof. During her interview with Jason, Nikki's focus remained squarely on Gelo. She talked at length about how he betrayed the family, how he disappeared for weeks at a time, and how his actions impacted both her and the children. Interestingly, she also expressed a surprisingly measured and compassionate perspective when it came to the kids. During the sit-down, Nikki said she hoped that Rashida's baby and her own children could someday have a good relationship. She emphasized that the children did nothing wrong and shouldn't be denied the sibling bond they deserve. She was very explicit in saying that she hoped things could eventually settle down for the sake of all three kids involved.
You ever let their kid play with your kids?
The kids could have in a relationship. That what happened between us, I don't think is fair to affect the kids because they're still siblings, and it's not their fault. That.
But you ain't gonna let her come to your house.
No, I mean, I pray one day in life that we will be amicable because now that she is having a child with him and our kids are going to be around each other, I'm sure one day I would pray that we can be peaceful. But I don't really feel like I owe anyone an apology.
At this point, the situation is fully spiraled out of control. What started as a messy breakup had turned into a full-blown public war, with accusations flying in every direction. The drama is no longer just about a cheating scandal. It's become a deeply emotional, deeply personal conflict involving pregnancies, children, and unresolved resentment. And do you know what the most concerning part of all this is? Gelo's behavior. This man literally walked away from two families within the span of just a few months, and yet he's out here acting completely unbothered. Just days before filing for divorce from Rashida Nicole, he appeared on Kai Cenat's livestream, casually previewing his new music like nothing in his personal life was falling apart. On top of that, he's been doing podcast appearances, interviews, and media runs, all while projecting this "I'm chilling" energy. In one of his interviews with Billboard News, Gelo openly said that whatever people are saying about him doesn't bother him at all. According to him, people don't know what's really going on in his life, so their opinions don't matter.
This shit live, that shit live case right now. When people conversate about my personal life, it don't touch me or bother me too much.
He said he doesn't care what people say about him.
It don't rub me the wrong way or nothing, because nobody really go what I go through every day. So you not me for real, so it's like, it don't mean shit for real. I don't even know half the people saying anything.
Here's the thing. A little accountability instead of this smug, dismissive attitude would actually go a long way. Now that his music career is taking off and he's suddenly surrounded by attention and validation, he's carrying himself like he's on top of the world. And that's exactly the problem. It should bother you what people are saying when you've created 2 lives in the past year and then dipped out on both families. Instead of taking responsibility, he continues to frame himself as the victim, subtly implying that the women involved are the problem. And yet, when you look at both situations side by side, the pattern is impossible to ignore. The common denominator here is Gelo. It's painfully obvious that he is not in the mindset to have a family right now. And instead of being honest about that, he's doing the most reckless thing imaginable, creating families and then abandoning them to avoid responsibility. That behavior isn't edgy or misunderstood. It's deeply irresponsible and honestly pretty disgusting. People online are clocking it too. The internet has been dissecting this situation nonstop, with many unable to wrap their heads around how someone could leave behind 2 broken families in less than a year and still walk around acting unbothered. Others have pointed out that if your partner's first instinct when you disappear is to assume you got someone else pregnant, that alone says everything you need to know about your character. And while most of the backlash has undeniably been directed at Gelo, Rashida hasn't been spared either. Even after she went silent following her explosive call-out of Nikki Baby, people continued to bring up how she behaved when Gelo initially left Nikki. What's especially interesting, though, is that just months after publicly attacking Nikki on Instagram, Rashida recently posted an apology directed at her. That single post completely shook the internet and reopened the conversation in a way nobody was expecting. And with that apology, the story somehow managed to get even messier. So around mid-December, Rashida gave birth to her son and updated everyone by sharing photos of her baby on Instagram. Alongside those pictures, she posted a lengthy written statement, one that finally aired out her resentment toward Gelo and clarified what she had been going through behind the scenes. This is what she wrote. "I did not want to speak on it, but the questions and assumptions have become overwhelming. So here is my truth. Yes, I am going through a divorce. No, I won't share details while it's in litigation. And yes, I chose for my child's father not to be at my delivery. That decision came after months of emotional pain, hurtful words, and complete absence during the most vulnerable season of my life. For the last 5 months, I've done everything alone. Every appointment, every milestone, every challenge. Moments that should have been shared or lost because he chose not to show up. One of the most shocking moments was being told at 8.5 months pregnant to change our daughter's name, the name we agreed on at 10 weeks, because it was too close to you and your girlfriend's name. The same woman I later learned he had been lying about while still living together. Not only did Rashida express that she went through her entire pregnancy alone while Gelo added to her emotional turmoil, but she also took accountability for her own actions, something no one saw coming. In a move that genuinely shocked the internet, she publicly apologized to Miss Nikki Baby. Rashida shared that Nikki and her family had supported her during the pregnancy, and that the 2 women were able to speak privately for their own individual healing. This is what she said. "This is not for sympathy or I told you so's. I have taken accountability privately, and I want to publicly apologize to @Miss Nikki Baby for the pain I caused. I am glad that we were able to talk, get clarity, and create space for healing and a positive future for our kids. Thank you to her and her family for supporting me during this pregnancy. Your grace means more than you know. But I won't protect someone who never protected me. Someone who disrespected me, lied on me, and pushed a one-sided narrative to avoid accountability, continue to inflict pain and build broken homes. I haven't shared the worst of what I experienced out of respect for him as a father, a respect I never received in return. So no, I was not going to allow a 5-minute delivery room photo op for the internet. Parenthood begins during pregnancy, and even the smallest effort would have mattered, but it never came. I'm not bitter, I am exhausted. I carried a child that belonged to both of us, yet I carried this entire journey alone. Thank you to everyone who checked on me, prayed for me, or simply offered love. I know I have been quiet, but sometimes when you're in the middle of a storm, you truly don't know what to say. I am embracing this new chapter. I have learned, I am healing, and I've stood on all 10 through the good, the bad, and the ugly." What's genuinely wholesome is that Nikki actually commented under Rashida's post, thanking her for the apology and saying that she prays for the future of both of their children. That moment alone caught a lot of people off guard, especially considering how ugly things had gotten just months earlier. While Nikki remained calm and gracious about the situation, people online simply couldn't stop praising her. Many felt that Nikki ended up being the most mature person in this entire equation. She made the right decision to walk away from Gelo, focus on herself, and create a healthier, more stable environment for her kids. What stood out the most was the fact that she never publicly blamed Rashida for destroying her relationship. Instead, she placed the majority of the responsibility exactly where it belonged, on Gelo. That level of grace did not go unnoticed. People were literally applauding Nikki for supporting Rashida during such a vulnerable time, especially considering that Rashida had previously thrown shade at her while Nikki was still in the middle of postpartum recovery. To many, Nikki's response showed emotional intelligence, restraint, and growth.
I hate to say it, but Nikki Baby is better than me. Miss Nikki Baby is better than me. That's all I'm going to say. Because what you mean, Nikki Baby and her entire family supported you throughout your pregnancy. That is a true God-fearing woman. Nikki is exactly who she thinks she is, and she's definitely better than me. She's definitely better than me. But them tables turn. They turn. That's why you leave families alone. You leave them families alone.
While Nikki was widely praised, people were still not ready to let Rashida off the hook. The internet has a long memory. Under Rashida's post, many users commented that she was only apologizing because she didn't get her happily ever after. Others questioned her sincerity altogether, suggesting that the apology came only after Gelo did to her exactly what he had done to Nikki. Some people are even openly celebrating the irony of the situation, pointing out that Rashida ended up experiencing the same abandonment she once seemed to dismiss. Others expressed disbelief that she gave her daughter Gelo's last name, especially considering that she didn't allow him in the delivery room and publicly accused him of being absent. Things took another unexpected turn just days after Rashida gave birth. Gelo showed up to his daughter Lanaya's first birthday and was even seen posing for photos with Nikki Baby. That single appearance immediately set the internet on fire. Speculation exploded about whether Nikki and Gelo were possibly rekindling their relationship or at least attempting some form of reconciliation. Several media outlets picked up the story and ran with the idea that the two might be seeing each other again. However, nothing's been confirmed. And based on how Nikki spoke about that possibility during her interview with Jason Lee, it doesn't leave much room to believe she would ever consider getting back with him. What raised even more eyebrows was the contrast in Gelo's behavior. While he showed up for Nikki's daughter's birthday, he reportedly had not shown up to meet Rashida's newborn daughter at all. Rashida posted a photo of her baby on social media and wrote, "Poor baby been on this earth for 6 days. Still ain't seen or heard from her dad. Wow." And what made that even worse was the timing. Gelo somehow had time to appear on podcasts, do interviews, and promote his music, but not enough time to meet his newborn child. He even went as far as publicly expressing regret over leaving Miss Nikki Baby during an episode of the Ball in the Family podcast. Sitting down with his brother and Lil Yachty, Gelo opened up about how he viewed his relationships with both Nikki and Rashida. What shocked people the most was his claim that he was forced into marrying Rashida, framing it as if she had some kind of control or influence over him, rather than taking responsibility for his own choices. She even claimed that Rashida forcefully drove him to the courthouse, despite him repeatedly saying that he didn't want anything like that. According to him, everything happened so fast that he ended up marrying her within 2 weeks, and he admitted that he cried afterward because of how overwhelmed he felt. When asked whether he regretted leaving Miss Nikki Baby, he didn't hesitate. He admitted that he was wrong and said that if he could go back in time, he would never make that decision again.
When I was with Nikki, right?
When you removed yourself and moved into a different area, what exactly happened?
So why just had some
why?
shit.
Like why? That's what the world wants to know.
We was going like not agreeing on type. Like she wanted me to live in Porter Ranch. I wanted her to live on my shit. Like just like stuff like that. Like no. Like grown up shit, I guess.
Okay.
Where we was gonna live, where these niggas gonna go to school, like who gonna watch them when we leaving for work and all that shit. I don't know. We was just talking a whole bunch of shit over, going through it, and then I don't know, nigga. I don't know. If I could redo it, I would. I was like, shit, I'd have whooped my own ass for real. Like I'd have stayed there.
That's respect.
But you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't
it was
know.
just a rat. It just was like.
I told her that though. Nikki cooled me. Like I told her straight up, like nigga, I was tweaking. I ain't got no excuse for that shit or nothing. But Yeah, if I could redo it, I wouldn't do that shit.
Did
know
you
what
ever
I'm saying?
confide in like Ant and be like, "Yo, am I tripping?"
No, I can't ask niggas. Like, I didn't know. Like, I'm one of them dudes. Like, I'm in my own world, nigga.
Yeah.
Not even knowing what I'm really on. Like,
right.
That's why I said I had to tap in. Like, when I really start thinking about what I'm about, I'm like, this shit trash.
I'm trying to see how did the marriage happen? That's what I want to know. Like, no way you was just sitting home one day and y'all was just like, fuck, let's just go to the.
I ain't gonna lie, we never talked about this.
All this shit was like in a 2-week span, nigga, though, of straight
That's what I'm
terrible
saying.
shit, though.
I want y'all to know we haven't talked about this.
Yeah.
Like we literally have not talked about this.
It was in a terrible shit of like, I had 2 terrible ass weeks, nigga. I don't know how to explain
But
this shit.
around the best
Like,
time of your life, though.
Nigga, I was fine. Like, I don't know. Shit start going south like that. Like, nigga, I don't know. I did make some dumbass decisions, but I do feel like, I don't know, nigga. Like, I feel like she was like, I pray you die every day. Like, she might have been on some ill shit, nigga, because I couldn't think for real. And I'm going through the motions with her ass. Like, she like, I'm gonna do this, then. I'm like, whatever. All right, cool, whatever, nigga. Cool. Yes, getting whatever, nigga. Just doing anything. She like, we gonna get married. We gonna do all this. I'm like, nigga.
But how did you end up
doing that?
How did you end up in the courtroom though, brother? Because like
she drove me there, nigga. I'm out there about to cry in the whip. That's what I'm saying. No, you feel what I'm saying though? Like, nigga, I felt disconnected type shit. Like, I'm like, all right, nigga. Like, I'm telling her, like, I don't want to get married, nigga. I don't want to do none of this shit. But then I was like, I'm doing it though, nigga. And I did not understand. But I like sat down one day, nigga, and my eyes started leaking. Like, oh, like my shit dripping on the floor. I'm like, hold on, nigga. I went upstairs and talked to her ass. Like, hey, you got to slide. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I just took all the L's on the chin. Told everybody to leave. Cleared that bitch out. Side guy go. I don't know, man. I had to reset my shit, though. But I'm cool. I felt I got off track. I don't know. I was doing dumb shit for like 2 weeks, bro.
What's your question? You said you had a question.
I just forgot, but.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I remember. That's refreshing to hear, man.
It is.
My question was, what is... Because I've never heard you talk about it. Because I was like, bro, there's no way that you just go through.
I can't. Niggas just gonna jump to the shit.
I know.
Like, oh, you dumbass nigga. Oh, she had you like, nigga, she ain't had shit. To be honest, I don't like her ass. Like, nigga, to keep it a band. It's just like.
How the hell did that happen?
How that shit, nigga, I don't know. I don't know how to answer.
She put that fire on you, boy.
Not even that, bro. I don't even know, nigga.
She had you locked up.
She was lying and shit. Yeah, a whole bunch of bad shit. Nigga, I had to just go and leave.
But when you met her, though, like...
She promoted.
You enjoyed the time with her, though.
What?
Because you seemed happy when you first met her.
I'm just saying, it's cool. Like, this shit happened, and then I got through it, past it. We cool.
Right.
Right, that's that, man. I can't go. I'm not about to rant about her ass on here.
I feel it. We just want to know, because, like, we never
talked about it.
We never talked about it. So it just was like...
the pod, though, nigga. Like,
I know.
At the end of the day, for everybody to know, like, what's happening day to day is crazy.
Yeah, like, we giving you opportunity to speak your truth. Because I feel like with some of these platforms, man, they didn't really know your side because you haven't been able to explain that. Like, you haven't been able to talk about it yourself, right?
I think personally, from the outside looking in, the way you did Nikki was definitely wrong, for sure. But with that being said, I think there was valid reasons for you stepping too, though, that people don't know about.
People don't know about.
Already going through our shit, but that's normal though. Like, we could got through it and stuck it out. Everybody gonna do the same shit. Cause I came to her ass and she started arguing in 2 weeks, doing worse shit. So it's like, nigga, whatever.
But you regret the decision that you made, though, ultimately.
Yeah, mainly because the kids, though. Like, nigga, I would have stayed home I'll thug it out for real. I'll talk it out with Nikki and just stay home and be with them niggas. But now it's like this now.
Now, for being honest, in this clip, he sounds less like a confused man and more like a grown adult desperately trying to escape accountability by pinning his own choices on other people. And frankly, it comes across as pathetic. This was a committed man, a father of 2, fully capable of making decisions. So how exactly did a random girl force you into marriage? Make it make sense, man. And while she supposedly forced you into marriage, did she also force you into getting her pregnant? Because that part always seems to get conveniently left out. Men like Gelo love to play powerless when it suits them, but somehow forget they had agency the entire time. That behavior isn't misunderstood, it's irresponsible. After these statements started circulating, Rashida didn't hold back either. She fired back, calling him a clown and a deadbeat. She made it very clear that no one can force a grown man to do anything, just like she can't force him to be a present father to her daughter. Once again, the pattern repeated itself. Gelo refusing to take accountability and the women in his life being left to clean up the emotional fallout. She even commented under the original podcast saying, "Now you don't like me? You did not like her either. Boy, meanwhile, you're out here moving other females into a whole new house. You are literally full of it, and it's disgusting." Amidst all of this, Rashida has also claimed that she may file for full custody, stating that Gelo is not involved in her daughter's life anyway. While what's happening to Rashida is undeniably sad, it's hard to ignore the fact that many people feel she should have seen this coming, because the entire internet did. Watching this drama unfold in real time made the outcome feel almost inevitable. And now that she's experiencing the same abandonment Nikki once did, the internet is struggling to feel sympathy. Recent posts discussing Rashida reflect that sentiment clearly. One person wrote, "The Rashida Nicole and LiAngelo situation just proves that getting married and then having a baby means nothing. She got the ring and still dumped with a baby." Another person wrote, "Rashida Nicole got dumbass kicked to the curb, her usual thinning. She was finna have a happy home built on Miss Nikki Baby's tears. Gelo dead wrong too, but I love it when men regret leaving their women. Add him to the list of offset nem bye." That comment alone sums up how many people are viewing this situation not as a shocking twist, but as a painful, predictable outcome of a pattern that had already been established. While people on the internet have been speculating that Nikki and Gelo might be getting back together, the truth couldn't be further from that. Far from a romantic reunion, Nikki is literally taking him to court and dragging him for every bit of accountability she can get, because Gelo's financial behavior since abandoning their family has become a legal battle, not a love story. In a bombshell move, Nikki Mudarris filed legal documents in her ongoing child support dispute with LiAngelo Ball, and the details she revealed are nothing short of wild. According to court filings, she claims that Gelo is earning massive amounts of money, roughly $600,000 a month, while she's struggling to make ends meet. That's right, her ex reportedly makes more in a single month than her entire net worth. To give that some context, Nikki's own net worth is estimated to be about $400,000, built from her reality TV career, influencer gigs, her businesses, and years on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Meanwhile, Gelo's financial disclosures, which are now part of official child support proceedings, reportedly show a monthly income that dwarfs hers, even while she was pregnant and unable to work the past year. Nikki's lawyers didn't hold back in court, pointing out that he earns significantly more than she does, and yet has been financially absent since their split. They highlighted the harsh reality she's been living. 0 monthly income right now, while her expenses remain high, including childcare and rent, and even debts owed to family members. Nikki's lawyer said in court that, in a single month, LiAngelo makes more than Nicole's entire net worth, including her cash checking investments, 50% equity in a Beverly Hills condominium, and her equity interest in a Rolls-Royce. The filing further reported Ball's net worth to be approximately $3.9 million. Nikki also stated in court that the reason her income has dipped so drastically is because she spent most of 2024 pregnant and was therefore unable to work at her usual capacity. She revealed that she is currently under significant financial strain, explaining that she's been struggling to cover both her own expenses and those of her children. According to court documents, Nikki disclosed that she owes more than $156,000 to family members who have helped support her during this time. On top of that, she listed a whopping $97,000 in legal fees, money she has to pay just to keep this child support case moving forward. Beyond the numbers, Nikki's filing makes a larger and much more damning point. Gelo has refused to take responsibility for the 2 children they share. This is exactly the kind of behavior she has blasted him for publicly since their split, abandoning his family, rushing into a new relationship, and acting like nothing at all happened. Now it's coming out in official legal documents instead of just Instagram stories. And while Nikki's been forced to present her finances in a very public way, she's shown she isn't here for pity, she's here for justice. Part of the dispute includes resisting Gelo's attempts to have her hand over extensive personal financial records, such as personal purchases, documents related to plastic surgery, and travel records, just to get what she's owed, which she strongly objected to in her filings. No matter how much some Twitter or TikTok commenters wish she'd just snap back to Gelo, that's not happening. Her focus in court isn't about revenge. It's about making sure her kids are cared for financially. Given that Gelo has allegedly been earning far more than her and yet hasn't stepped up in the way he should, this isn't petty social media drama anymore. It's a full legal battle over support, responsibility, and accountability. And for many people watching, Nikki's move has shifted the narrative entirely. She's no longer the one stuck in the past. She's the one demanding that Gelo finally take responsibility for the life he helped create. From where we're standing, it seriously looks like Gelo needs proper counseling when it comes to handling his family responsibilities. No matter what issues or arguments he has with his baby mamas, he needs to step up for all his kids. The decisions he's made over the past couple of months have already been wild enough. Abandoning his kids just to make a point is completely unjustifiable. If he's refusing counseling, then someone close to him needs to sit him down and make him realize one simple truth. If he's suddenly earning this much money now, his children deserve to benefit from that success too. They're entitled to financial security, stability, and support. He doesn't get to enjoy a glow up while denying his own kids the very resources that could give them a better life. If we're being completely honest, this entire situation is exhausting to watch, and not in an entertaining way. What stands out the most isn't the drama between Nikki and Rashida, or even the social media chaos. It's LiAngelo Ball's consistent refusal to take real accountability. Time and time again, he's shown the same pattern. Impulsive decisions, emotional detachment, and then blame shifting once things fall apart. 2 women, 3 children, multiple pregnancies, and somehow he still positions himself as the victim. That alone says everything. Nikki, in contrast, has handled this situation with a level of grace that many people wouldn't be capable of. She chose to step back, focus on her children, and now pursue accountability through the courts instead of Instagram. Rashida, on the other hand, is experiencing the same abandonment she once dismissed. And while that doesn't erase her past actions, it does explain the shift in her tone and choices. This situation feels less like karma and more like a predictable outcome of ignoring red flags. Now, the bigger questions remain. Do you think Rashida should file for full custody, given Gelo's alleged absence? What should her next move be? Focus on healing privately or continue speaking out publicly? And most importantly, do you believe Gelo needs to take real accountability, not through interviews and podcasts, but through consistent action as a father? This story is far from over, and the decisions made next will shape these children's lives long after the internet has moved on. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Whose side are you on, if any? And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next breakdown.